Behind the scenes, Sailing Volume 1, an update from Jagex, the 22nd of August. It's time to peek behind the scenes of sailing. If you're keen for sailing, feel free to put 1 in the chat. 2 in the chat if you're not keen for sailing. And then we'll see if it changes your opinion by the end of this blog. We're going to skip this ahoy shit because I don't care about your memes. It's been some time since the community voted for a new skill back in 2022. At that time, the new skill team consisted of mod Alina, Husky, Light, Gecko, Errol, Jerv, Grub, don't care. Okay, what do we got? So, navigation. Let's have a look. If you're not ready for a long voyage through Sailing's development so far, you can see the highlights right here. Oh, what's this? Oh, it just skips you to the... Oh, fuck. There's a lot. Okay, navigation. All right. Okay. The next step is to bring hands on deck. To bring all hands on deck with the Open Tech Alpha. This involves extensive engine work, as well as some important decisions behind the scenes. First question is whether boats should move like players or have their own unique movements. Players are used to moving their characters around by clicking, but boats are quite a bit larger. In fact, in the game code, they're technically entire land masses by themselves. The size of the ships meant they were crashing into all sorts of things. We also ruled out smart pathing. The system determines the most effective route for one point to another. This is great when you're a minotaur trying to navigate around some annoying pillars, but less great when you're a player trying to sail a ship. For one thing, instead of sailing a ship, it feels like you are the ship, which is not at all what we were after. Smart pathing also makes the boat wiggle around obstacles like a player character might. If you've seen a boat in real life, of course, you'll know that. Okay, let's have a look. All right. Played around with a few other pathing algorithms too. Pathing, for example, is the industry standard. They even use it at sat-navs. Unfortunately, it causes performance issues and unexpected crashes when scaled up to 2,000 players. Worse, it caused frustrating moments when the route, and final angle were unpredictable. Right. So, for example, the boat clearly can't fucking turn around. It's not good. Okay. Rather than turning around and facing the bottom right, it turns 360 degrees, fails to face the direction, and then crashes the server. It's not good. It's not good. But I'm sure that they'll get a fix. Counterintuitively, it seems that smart pathing wasn't the smartest approach. It takes decisions away from the player, which over time would make sailing less fun. So basically, what smart pathing would do is if you were on one, let's pull up a map here. Basically, if you were here at Port Sarum and you clicked, like you were physically here and you clicked here, your boat would just theoretically sail around. And Jagex don't want you to be able to do that, right? They want you to actively sail and make that turn yourself. Because if you were a character and you're like at the top of this mountain and you click down here, your guy will actively smart path around, right? So they want to make it so you are actively navigating the waters rather than just click and then you're sailing for 10 minutes, right? That's what they want to avoid. Fair play to them. Went back to our guiding principles and concluded that boat movement should be fun. Players should enjoy learning and training the skill. Boat movement should feel unique, making players feel like sailors mastering navigation, not simply an extension of their ship. Telling your character where to walk is dead easy. Telling your boat where to go should be dead easy too. So it's an oxymoron. Players who master navigation should feel rewarded for good movement, not punished for bad movement. We want a high threshold of mastery rather than a high barrier to entry. Here's a problem that I think that Jagex is going to have. Jagex is going to have... They've got this problem, right? This is what's going to happen. You have two choices here. You have a skill that they want the skill to feel unique. They want it to feel like sailing. They want it to feel different. They want it to feel like you are moving the boat, navigating the boat, actively at sea, actively sailing. The problem is that no one wants to fucking do that realistically in RuneScape. You guys don't actively want to run across rooftops. You don't actively want to be swinging every axe hit, clicking the tree to get the axe swinging, right? That's why you click once and you leave it. You don't actively... You want to AFK. You want to make it easy. You want to make it simple. And when it gets to the end game, when it gets to high level, if you're doing high level content, right? Let's say, for example, there's some sort of PVM encounter in the ocean that you've got to use your boat for. You don't want to be waiting for your boat to do this big fucking U-turn, right? You want the boat to turn and fucking go, and then turn and go. You want to move quickly, like you do in places like the Inferno. When you're fucking moving against like the shield with Zuck, you don't want to be like, okay? This slow turning shit, because it makes the boat feel realistic. That's what people think they want sometimes, right? That's not going to work. I guarantee you there will be more people willing to vote that out of the game and just have it instant turn and go than there will be people doing the opposite. It won't work long term. So the problem they're going to have is either make it feel like you're sailing or make it fucking good to play. It seems really hard, in my opinion, to have both. That's what I'm getting from this. I feel like it's going to be very hard to have both. And at the end of the day, like, how many times has Jagex had to go back? We're not going to do HD. We're not going to do third-party clients. We're not going to do plugins. Oh, the community wants it. The community has it. The community feels like this is what we want. We're okay with it. Now we're going to start doing HD. Oh, we're too far behind. Right? How many times has that happened? Now they bring plugins over from cheat clients that are acceptable now, right? I think you gotta jump ahead of the curve and be with the players from day one. You gotta kind of think where the players are gonna want to be in 5-10 years time, right? Convinced sailing will never make it to the game. I think sailing could make it to the game still. It depends if the alpha, if the betas work, it'll come to the game. So they've got movement ready. Time to close tech alpha. You may remember we introduced some beta worlds back in June. We can now reveal that these worlds were full of playtesters of varying skill levels, trying out sailing, giving us feedback. This is the first time we ever had player input on sailing's core mechanics. So although the feedback initially leaned negative, it was very, very valuable. We'd like to thank everyone who participated for all your hard work. The closed tech alpha revealed a number of compounding issues we had to fix before we could get the grips with how navigation felt. Firstly, we found large boats took up too much space in the screen. This issue was already in our sights thanks to the feedback on our blog. Playtesting revealed that changes were critical. As a result, we scaled down the boat sizes rapidly, prototyping different styles to find the upper and lower limits. We paid particular attention to the amount of space on deck and how it felt to interact with facilities and move around the ship. We also decided to cut colossal boats and stick to small and large ones for now. Makes sense. Too many people are dumb enough to play fucking fixed screens outside of PvP. You don't have enough. You don't have enough screen space for that. Okay, playtesters also highlighted a couple of clickbox issues, which helped us discover an error where the game struggled to calculate clickboxes in boats specifically. We've also adjusted the clickboxes on sails to make the gameplay feel more fluid. That's fair. Some feedback revealed that playtesters didn't know how to dock their boat, so created a visual indicator. There you go, there's an anchor. Look at that. It's good. After all that, we were ready to focus on navigation. Our original design locked players in place while we were navigating the boat until they exited navigation mode. This was designed to prevent frustrating misclicks. However, playtesters let us know that this feature meant there wasn't enough time to keep the boat moving while trimming sails. To keep this process nice and rhythmic, we adjusted the space between sails and other facilities. Sails on small boats and rafts will always be a clickable distance when navigating, which should help gameplay feel more fluid. Playtesters want us to explore more perpetual movement. This ability is to keep your ship moving in the same direction without clicking. Basically, what that means is, I'll pull up paint and show you. Perpetual movement is, this is your boat, and let's say this is the front of the boat, and this is the back of the boat, and if you click here, your boat will just keep going until you click here. Then your boat will just keep going, okay? You click one direction and it goes in that direction and it doesn't stop until it hits something or you tell it to stop. Which allows you to have a bit more AFK freedom and allows you to interact with things on your boat a little bit more, which is kind of nice. During refinement, we thought of this as an advanced feature, but the closed test alpha made us realize we should at least see how newer sailors cope with it. This is your boat on drugs, yeah, pretty much. To truly understand how players felt about perpetual movement, we needed to rapidly test different options in isolation. We had to go beyond the engine. Enter Unity, a popular off-the-shelf game engine with the simple features we were able to whip up quickly, bare bones version. Okay, so what's the conclusion here? Unity allowed us to easily pass prototypes onto our playtesters group and gather their feedback. that you're about to see. Okay, let's see. Okay, look at that. Look at those boys. Those are big boys. Loving the raft on logs, by the way. Great fucking boat. Likely going to be the main boat, because that's fucking sick. Some big-ass boats, though. Not bad. What else have we got here? You can check out a quick explainer about it here. Nah. Alright. Movement types 1 and 2. Okay, so what is this? Click the ocean to set your direction, not your destination. Click the boat icons on the panel, side panel, or your sail to set your speed, which is down here in the inventory. See how you're clicking, and then that will turn your boat, and then your boat just goes in that direction, right? And you've got an arrow telling you where your boat will go. Look at that turning circle. I don't like that turning circle. I think that turning circle is a mistake. Okay, you see how it's got a big circle? I think people that want that are not thinking about future-proofing this skill. I think that's a mistake. I think if that came to the game through the boat, through sailing, that will get voted out or quality of life changed eventually. 100%. That will. That turning circle, in my opinion, the whole fucking big-ass turn. Yeah, it's a boat, I get it. Realism or whatever you want. I think for the game and the mechanical depth of Old School Runescape and the capabilities of this game, I think that is a mistake. I think that is bad. That is a bad direction to take the sailing skill. That's my opinion. Okay. Next, we've got click the ocean, set your destination. Click the boat icons on the side panel to set your speed. Your last speed is remembered whenever you begin to move. Doesn't adhere to the grid system. So this doesn't work on squares. This will just freely fucking move. This boat system, right? Look at that. It will just go. It doesn't care about the squares. Sail perpetually in the direction you clicked until you collide or press stop. Still, it's got that turning circle again. Not a fan of the turning circle. Not a fan of the side panel concept. That's fine. I'm sure that there are different alternatives to how they would work it. The side panel would be, it'd be like an extra option. Like it would be, it'd be like another option, maybe like in here or something. So you still have your inventory and everything. Okay. So this boat moves. This doesn't rely on the grid. This boat just fucking moves where it can, right? Movement 5 moves in full tile increments at run speeds in 8 directions. Movement 6, straight line with no snapping at any angle. Movement type 7, in the direction relative to your boat and perpetually move unless you click to stop or collide with another obstacle, and so on. I think the turning circle is a mistake. Okay? And I'm probably going to rally that point for a while because I don't see how that turning circle, I don't see how it benefits high-end gameplay because I think movement is very important. And I think if you have a turning circle like that, you are limiting high-end movement gameplay in the boat. If you want to fully like extend this skill and give it as much content as possible, which is technically limitless. Like you can have as much content in sailing as you can on land with all your other skills. I think having such a slow turning circle and such an annoying, like you've got to wait to fucking turn that boat around. I think that is bad. You can change the turning speed, but I don't think that's the point because how fast can you change the turning speed, right? I think the boat should turn on the fucking spot and go. That option in the top right, you won't have those settings in the top right. That's a Unity thing. That's not a game client thing. You won't have. That's just for testing. There will be a set turn speed probably for each boat size or for different levels mechanics on the boat. You won't be able to change your turn speed at will. That's not what's happening. Hopping worlds would reset boat position. I'm not sure. Could do though. Could do. But what if you're in an instance? What if there's a big boss and you've got a fucking boogie? I feel like being able to turn on the spot is the play. But if like I was saying earlier, shoe on the other foot, say that was the design. Boat just turns, goes, turns and goes. And then Jagex was like, oh, what if you wanted the boat to turn like it does here with the big turning circle? I doubt anyone would vote that in. But I guarantee you, people would vote this out. Which I think just kind of solidifies that I think it's a mistake. But I'm not a game designer. Are you going to bring wind directions? No, they won't be doing that. Okay, they'll be implementing clear visual indicators via game, side panel, or chat box to highlight where you need to click to stop and start your boat. That's cool. Here's some different boat designs, which look pretty good. See how the old looks like a better boat, but it's just too clunky and you can't see shit. With the new one, you can actually see, and you've got some more varying sizes in boat, which is cool. I love the raft still. It's sick. I'd like the possibility of sailing the open seas and randomly encountering a kraken boss and some sort of water-based creature. Yep, that'll happen, 100%. That's the main thing of sailing is not that they're not going to do wind speeds, but I think it'll be they might do wind speeds. I can't remember what they said if they said they would, but I know there's like jibbing sails and different waters require different like speeds or depths or boat sizes or some shit. I'm not sure about winds though. Maybe during like certain mini games. Unity allows us to test our scaled down ships, including the 1x3 raft. This tiny vessel can fit one additional facility outside of the tiller and sails. Talk about compact. Yep, that's cool. Awesome. So what's next? We know you're yearning for the seas. Next year you'll be able to try sailing for yourself in Open Tech Alpha. First we need to run one more closed tech alpha to run through all the feedback changes we've applied for the first one. We also need to resolve issues with collision detection. Right now our boats currently intersect with the edges of the coast and it's looking a bit glitchy. That's going to be hard in a bit grid-based game. Additionally, we've been exploring on-site playtesting options that will rapidly speed up feedback and allow us to deliver sailing in a reasonable time frame. We've already had a successful on-site playtest with just 3 players, and everything seems to be working as expected. Now we're increasing playtest numbers gradually to ensure that all is well before we present sailing to the wider community. I'm yearning for alternative women, not for the seas. True. Currently, our playtesters live all over the world. Many of them have been picked from discussions in the official osrs Discord or by referral. We're always open to inviting more people, but we have to keep numbers relatively small to ensure everyone's voices are heard. Since we're gearing up for the Open Tech Alpha, we've decided to add a few more playtesters to the mix for one-off sessions with the development team. If you'd like to help out, fill this form below. By now, we hope you've seen how sailing has improved constantly. Look. Yeah, that ain't happening. That's just JMods fucking around. We are not going to know shit. This blog tells us a fair bit. Tells us that they're working on it. Okay, people have been asking, where's sailing? Not done sailing. Been a while since I've heard about sailing. This blog shows us that JMods are working. Okay, they're putting shit down. All right. But the reality is until there is an open beta for this is going to flop hard. I don't think we could know until we get an open beta. Like, I think you have to keep an open mind. The reason you need to keep an open mind and you can't just be super negative about it is because this could very well end up in the game, whether you like it or not. So you kind of have to approach this with an open mind and be like, can it work? What are the positives? What are the negatives? There are some positives. Try find both, you know? And this is all about movement. This beta is all about, it's not about what you're going to be able to do while sailing. It's not about how to level. It's not about why, what you're going to do to achieve certain content. It's literally, does the boat fucking move? Do you like how it moves? What do you think? It's purely about navigating and making sure that it works without crashing the server like this. That is all this is about. And I think if you're gonna just go in and be like, this is shit, fuck sailing, I voted no, give us shamanism, then you really shouldn't be giving feedback at all. You have to kind of you shouldn't give negative feedback. You should give positive feedback. You should give constructive feedback. Negative feedback never helps anything. You have to be constructive. Okay, that's where your negative feedback lies. If you've got a problem, you have to also offer some sort of solution or feedback or reason as to why, other than I wanted shamanism. That's not constructive. That's just you being an asshole. That's what's important. Have they explained what the main purpose of this is? It seems pointless. The main purpose is to bring a new skill to the game, essentially. The Open Alpha will be next year, and they said in the blog. We're probably looking at summer 2026 release, first quarter 2027, if that, man. Depends how the feedback goes for the alpha. I'd imagine once they've got this part of the skill down, the navigation, if they get this down and locked in, they'll smash the rest of the skill out like that. It won't take long, I don't think. Like, they'll have betas out in no time. This is the hardest part, getting it to work, and there's a lot of engine work they've got to do, clearly. People, for some reason, want this to be a failure. If you want it to be a failure, then don't fucking participate in it, you know? Definitely not a fan of turn mechanics. I think it should turn on the spot, not do big U-turns, but that's not going to kill the skill for me. It won't kill boats or sailing. So, until then, that is it. Executioner's axe head. Congratulations, Flyback. Finally getting shit done. My man. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge. You got a big boy.